Why you must clean these 3 body parts daily, especially after 70 ever. Hey there. I want to start this video with a question that might surprise you. When was the last time you really thought about your belly button, or the skin behind your ears, or even under your toenails? If you're over 70, or you love someone who is, you need to hear this. And not just with your ears, but with your heart. Because this conversation, it's not just about hygiene. It's about dignity. It's about independence. It's about keeping your body sacred, even as the years pass and gravity seems to have a little too much fun with us. You see, aging is a strange, quiet thing. It sneaks up on you. One day you're jogging around the park, and the next you're wincing just trying to reach your feet. One moment you're standing tall and strong, and then suddenly, you notice how your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. Maybe you're even relying on someone else now. Your partner, a caregiver, a grown child, to help with the little thing. But here's what no one tells you. Some of those little things can become big problems. And one of the biggest, it's the simple daily act of cleaning parts of your body that for decades you probably never gave a second thought. Now let's be real. As we get older, we start to hear a lot about medical checkups, blood pressure, cholesterol, bone density. All important, yes. But what about your skin, your nails, your navel? The truth is, after 70, your body becomes more vulnerable to bacteria, infections, and skin breakdown, especially in the areas that are easily forgotten. And listen, I know this isn't the most glamorous topic, but trust me, it's one of the most important, because staying clean in the right places isn't just about smelling nice. It's about preventing infections, avoiding painful conditions, and preserving your independence for as long as possible. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, a friend of mine was helping care for her 78-year-old father. He was sharp, witty, full of life, but slowly, he started to struggle with mobility. Showering became difficult. Bending down felt impossible. Over time, without realizing it, he began neglecting certain areas of his body, not because he was lazy, but because he physically couldn't reach or didn't think it mattered. One day, he ended up in the hospital with a severe skin infection, the sore bacteria that had built up under his toenails, something that could have prevented with a little more awareness, a little more care. It was a wake-up call. So today, I'm talking to you, whether you're 70, 80, 90, or you're watching this for someone you love. What I'm about to share with you could change how you look at your body forever, because your body is still yours, still sacred, still deserving of care. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 often neglected body parts that must be cleaned daily after 70, and not just how to clean them, but why it matters more now than ever before. We'll dive deep into the surprising health risks, the emotional toll of poor hygiene, and how these small daily acts can actually give you back something many people feel they've lost as they age: control, confidence, and yes, a sense of personal pride. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's get into it, because you deserve to feel clean, strong, and dignified every single day of your life. Let's start with something small, something you probably haven't thought about in a long time: your belly button. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 1. The forgotten navel. Your belly button could be harboring danger. Let's start right at the center. The belly button. Yes, you heard me right. That little spot on your stomach that most of us haven't paid attention to in decades. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you cleaned your belly button, really cleaned it? Most people forget it even exists unless they're poking around during a shower or noticing lint after a long day. But let me tell you, especially after the age of 70, your navel can become a secret hiding place for danger. You see, your belly button is like a little cave. It's warm, it's dark, and it's the perfect place for bacteria to thrive. Sweat, dead skin cells, oils from your body, and even remnants of soap and lotion can build up in there. If left untouched, that gunk becomes a breeding ground for odor, irritation, and in severe cases, infection. And yes, we've seen it happen. Doctors have actually documented cases where seniors developed umbilical sepsis, a potentially serious infection, just because the belly button was neglected. Doesn't sound so harmless now, does it? Here's the thing. As we get older, our skin becomes thinner. Our immune system slows down and healing takes longer. Something that once would have just caused mild irritation can now turn into an infection that spreads faster than you'd think. And for people who have a bit more belly around the middle, which happens naturally with age, the belly button can get even deeper, making it harder to see and clean. Out of sight, out of mind, but inside, it could be turning into a ticking time bomb. I know this sounds a little dramatic, but I'm telling you this not to scare you but to empower you. Because cleaning your belly button, it takes less than 30 seconds a day. A soft cloth, a gentle soap, maybe a Q-tip if you're feeling fancy. That's it. Just a gentle swipe to say, I see, I care for you. It's not just about staying healthy. It's about reclaiming the parts of your body that the world has forgotten to mention. You're not invisible, not even the tiniest part of you, and that includes your navel. So tomorrow, when you're in the shower, take a moment, clean your belly button with intention. Think of it as a quiet little way of saying, I still matter, all of me. Let's move on to another hidden area that often goes ignored. Number 2. Behind the ears, a hidden haven for germs. Now let's talk about behind your ear. You might be thinking, really? Behind my ears? Yes, really. It's one of the most overlooked areas of the entire body. And just like your navel, it's a place that doesn't always get the attention it needs, especially as we get older. Let me explain why this area matters so much. Behind your ears, you've got folds of skin. And where there are folds, there's friction. Where there's friction, there's sweat. And where there's sweat, you guessed it, bacteria love to party, especially in warmer climates or during the summer months. Behind the ear areas can become oily, sweaty, and even collect buildup from shampoo, conditioner, and hair product. That mixture of moisture and residue can clog pores, cause skin irritation, and sometimes lead to seborrheic dermatitis, a flaky, itchy condition that thrives when the skin isn't kept clean and dry. Here's something most people don't realize. Aging skin behaves different. As we age, the skin behind our ears gets thinner, more delicate, and more prone to irritation. The oil glands also become more active in certain parts of the body, and one of those places is, yes, behind your ears. That's why some elderly people develop a strong odor in that area. It's not poor hygiene. It's usually overlooked hygiene. And listen, I get it. If you're not able to move your arms as freely as you used to, or if washing your hair already feels like a full-body workout, cleaning behind your ears might feel like a luxury. But here's the truth. Small habits can prevent big problems. I've met people who had painful skin infections behind their ears, all because of a buildup that took months to form, but only would have taken seconds a day to prevent. The good news? This is easy to fix. Every day, when you wash your face or shower, just use a warm washcloth or your fingers to gently clean behind your ears. Be sure to dry it well too, because moisture is what feeds bacteria. You don't need fancy products, just soap, water, and intention. And while you're doing that, take a moment. Thank your body, thank yourself, because taking care of these often ignored places is more than hygiene. It's a quiet act of self-respect. After all, you've spent a lifetime carrying others, building families, working hard, showing up. Don't you think your ears and the skin behind them deserve a little love too? We're just getting started. Up next, we're heading downward, because what's hiding under your toenails might be affecting more than just your feet. Let's talk about it. Number 3. Under the toenails. The silent threat beneath your feet. Let's take it down to the ground. Your feet. And more specifically, under your toenails. Now I know, this is the part most people don't want to talk about. Feet can be uncomfortable. Some people feel embarrassed about how theirs look. Some just can't physically reach them anymore. But I'll tell you something right now. Neglecting the health and cleanliness of your toenails after 70 is one of the biggest hidden risks to your overall well-being. Here's why. As we age, our toenails get thicker, more brittle, and harder to trim. It becomes easy to let them go just a little longer between cleanings. And while that might seem harmless, that space under the toenail, that little pocket, it's the perfect storm for debris, dead skin, sweat, and fungi to move in and set up shop. The result: toenail fungus, painful pressure, bad odor, even infections that go straight into the bloodstream. Yes, bloodstream. That's not an exaggeration. After 70, your immune system slows down. Your circulation, especially in the legs and feet, isn't as strong. That means your body has a harder time fighting off small infections, particularly ones that begin in the toes. And if you're diabetic, the risk doubles, even triples. Let me tell you a real story. There was a gentleman, 82 years old, who went in for what he thought was just mild foot discomfort. His family had noticed he was limping. He hadn't really been keeping up with foot care because it had gotten difficult to bend down. By the time he saw the doctor, the area under his big toenail was swollen and red. They found a fungal infection that had gone deeper than just the nail. It had spread. The man had to be hospitalized and put on intravenous antibiotics. All of that from under a toenail. Now, I'm not telling you this to make you afraid. I'm telling you this because you have the power to prevent it. And guess what? You don't have to do it alone. If you can't reach your feet comfortably, talk to someone, a family member, a caregiver, or even better, see a podiatrist or foot care nurse regularly. There's no shame in asking for help. In fact, it's brave. It's responsible. Every day, or at least every few days, clean under your toenails with warm water and a gentle brush. Make sure your feet are dry, especially between the toes. Keep the nails trimmed, not too short, just enough to avoid pressure and overgrowth. Think of it like this. Your feet carry you through life. They deserve care. They deserve protection. And if you take care of what's underneath, it'll help you stay on your feet strong, stable, and moving forward. Because aging doesn't mean you have to stop walking boldly. Now that we've covered the physical dangers of hidden hygiene, let's shift gears for a moment. Because the real magic happens not just in your body but in your habit. Number 4. The power of routine. Why daily hygiene becomes more important with age. Let's talk about something that might seem small, but holds the key to living a longer, healthier, more fulfilling life. Routine. You see, when you're younger, routines are often built around doing things for others, kids, careers, responsibilities. But after 70, something beautiful happens. You begin to rediscover what it means to show up for yourself. And what better way to do that than with the simple, sacred act of daily hygiene? Now, some people might roll their eyes and think, what's the big deal about cleaning behind my ears or under my toenails? But here's the truth. Hygiene is not just about being clean. It's about structure. It's about intention. It's about saying to the world and to yourself, I still matter. Studies have shown that seniors who maintain a consistent personal care routine feel more in control of their lives. They experience less depression, fewer cognitive lapses, and even slower rates of physical decline. Why? Because routine gives your brain and body an anchor, a sense of normalcy, a sense of dignity. Every time you wake up and go through your hygiene ritual, whether it's washing your face, brushing your teeth, or carefully cleaning your navel, you're not just maintaining your body. You're telling yourself, I am worth the effort. And listen, this doesn't have to be complicated. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. Even if you miss a day, don't give up. Pick it back up the next day. Create a little checklist if you have to. Keep your supplies where you can reach them. Maybe light a candle, or play your favorite old song while you do your evening care. Make it a moment of peace, a moment of presence. Because after 70, these routines do something else too. They send a powerful message to the people around you. I am still living, still choosing, still here. So yes, clean your ears. Yes, care for your feet. But more than that, build your routine like a temple. Every small action becomes a brick, a prayer, a promise to yourself. This is your time, your rhythm, your ritual. And next, we're gonna go even deeper beyond the body and into the heart. Because what if I told you that cleanliness isn't just physical, it's emotional too? Let's talk about that in the next section. Number 5. Emotional health and cleanliness. You deserve to feel good in your own skin. Let's pause for a moment. I want to ask you something very personal. When was the last time you truly felt good in your own skin? Not just fine, not just okay, but deeply, honestly good, like you were glowing, light, refreshed, at peace. You see, hygiene isn't only about keeping the body clean. It's deeply tied to our emotional health, and especially after 70, when the world often begins to overlook you, Taking care of your body becomes a quiet way of saying, I still matter. I still feel. I still deserve joy. Here's the truth. Neglect breeds shame. When we stop tending to ourselves, even just in small ways, something inside starts to shrink. Maybe you felt it. Those moments where you look in the mirror and hardly recognize the reflection staring back. Or you go days without doing your hair, without washing properly, and little by little, that light inside you dims. But do you know what happens when you take even just 5 minutes to care for yourself? You come back to life. It's more than a physical act. It's a spiritual one. Washing your face, brushing your hair, gently scrubbing behind your ears. It's like telling your soul, you're still here, I see you. And when you feel clean, when you feel fresh, you hold your head a little higher. Your energy shifts. You're more likely to smile, to talk, to step outside. And yes, science backs this up. Studies show that poor hygiene in the elderly is directly linked to increased depression, anxiety, and social withdrawal. But those who maintain personal care routines report higher self-esteem, stronger social connection, and more emotional resilience. And this is especially important for those who live alone, because loneliness, combined with a loss of routine, can become a silent killer. But your hygiene, your body care can be a thread that pulls you back from that edge, that reminds you, I'm not fading, I'm still becoming. Let me be clear, you are not a burden, you are not past your prime, you are not invisible. And your emotional wellness, it still deserves to be nurtured, every single day, with every gentle touch of a washcloth, every drop of warm water, every act of self-care. You remind yourself that your presence still matters in this world, and trust me, it does. But your well-being doesn't just affect you, it touches the people around you too. Let's talk about that next. Number 6. How neglected hygiene affects caregivers and loved ones. Let's get honest. This part might be a little tough to hear, but it comes from a place of deep respect and compassion. When hygiene is neglected, not out of laziness, but because of physical limitations, emotional struggle, or even forgetfulness, it doesn't just affect the person experiencing it. It affects everyone around them, especially those who love you most. Caregivers, whether it's a spouse, a son or daughter, or a professional, or the unsung heroes of aging, but they're human too. And when hygiene becomes an ongoing challenge, it can create tension, exhaustion, and even distance in relationships. I've heard it more times than I can count. I love my dad, but helping him bathe has become emotionally draining. My mother won't let me near her feet, and now I'm worried about her health. We fight every day because my husband refuses to wash properly. It's heartbreaking. But here's the beautiful part. This pain isn't permanent. It can be changed. It can be healed. With communication, with consistency, and with a willingness to take back control where you can. Because when you take responsibility for your hygiene, even just the small things, you actually make life easier for those who love you. You restore balance in your relationships. You allow care to feel shared, not one-sided. And even more than that, you show your loved ones that you respect yourself, which makes it easier for them to show that same respect in return. This isn't about being perfectly clean. This is about showing effort, about saying I still want to be a partner in my own care. I want to help where I can. If that means investing in tools that make it easier to bathe, like long-handled sponges, non-slip mats, or shower seats, do it. If it means asking for help without shame, do that too. If it means setting up a routine with your caregiver that works for both of you, that's a gift you give each other. Because here's something powerful to remember. Needing help doesn't make you weak, but refusing to care for yourself when you still can, that steals your dignity. You don't have to do it all alone, but you can be a teammate in your own health. You can show up for yourself and for the people who love you by keeping these small, often ignored parts of your body clean and cared for. That's real love. That's real strength. And next, we're going to elevate everything we've talked about to the highest level, because cleaning your body, it's not just about health. It can become something deeply sacred. Let's go there, into the ritual, into the soul, into the celebration of your aging body. Are you ready? Let's talk about how hygiene can become a holy act. Number 7. Daily cleansing. As a sacred ritual. Not just a task, but a celebration. Now we've come to something truly powerful. We've talked about physical hygiene. We've talked about emotional health. But now I want to invite you to see daily cleansing in a new way, not as a chore, but as a sacred ritual. Yes, sacred. Because when you think about it, hasn't your body been your companion through every chapter of your life? It's carried you through heartbreaks and triumphs. It's danced, worked, held babies, built homes, written letters, planted gardens, and hugged the people you love. It's been wounded, scarred, healed, aged, and still, it's yours. So now, when you cleanse your body each day, when you wash your face, clean behind your ears, care for your feet, you're not just scrubbing away dirt, you're honoring the life you've lived. You're blessing the body that's still standing. Many cultures across the world treat cleansing as a sacred act. In Japanese tradition, there's massage, a spiritual purification through water. In Hindu rituals, bathing is an essential part of preparing the mind and body for prayer. Even in Christian tradition, baptism and foot washing are symbols of renewal and service. So why not make your own daily cleansing a moment of mindfulness, a ritual of reflection, of love, of peace? Imagine waking each morning, gently washing your face with gratitude, cleansing your belly button with awareness and care, drying your feet as if you were tending to a precious treasure, saying to yourself, "Thank you, body, thank you for holding me this far." Even lighting a candle before your shower, or listening to calming music as you prepare for bed, can transform a routine into a celebration of life. Because the truth is, after 70, you're not just existing, you're harvesting wisdom. And every moment of care you give to your body is a seed planted in love. It's a spiritual act of returning home to yourself. And let's be honest, aging isn't always easy. There are aches, there are changes, there's grief for what used to be. But there is also something deeply beautiful about choosing to love your body anyway. Not because it's perfect, but because it's still yours. So let this be your invitation. Turn your hygiene into holiness. Turn your routine into a ritual. Turn your cleansing into celebration. You deserve that. You always have. But as you've seen, this journey wasn't just about hygiene. It's about healing, honor, and hope. We talked about the navel and how a small spot can hide silent threats. We explored the folds behind your ears where bacteria love to hide but care can reach. We walked through the risks under your toenails, how something so small can affect your strength, your balance, your freedom. Then we went deeper into the power of routine, into emotional well-being, into the relationships that shape our care, and finally, into the sacred beauty of honoring your body through ritual. So let me tell you this, as clearly as I can, it's never too late. Never too late to start taking better care of yourself. Never too late to ask for help without shame. Never too late to reconnect with your body, even if you feel like time has taken its toll. Never too late to reclaim your dignity, your vitality, and your joy. And it's never too late to remember your body is still sacred. You are not defined by your wrinkles, not by your aches, not by what the world says you can or cannot do. You are defined by the strength that got you this far, by the grace with which you show up each day, by the decision you make, even now, to care for yourself not because someone told you to, but because you know you're worth it. So tomorrow morning, when you rise, let that first act of cleansing be more than just a habit. Let it be a declaration. Let it say, I'm still here, I'm still living, I still matter, and I will care for myself, because I deserve nothing less. To everyone watching this, whether you're over 70, or caring for someone who is, thank you. Thank you for taking this time to listen, to learn, to reflect. Now go, clean that belly button, wash behind those ears, scrub under those toenails, and while you're at it, look in the mirror and smile, because you're still beautiful. You're still powerful, and your life, it's not slowing down. It's just entering its most meaningful chapter yet. Take care of yourself, and never forget, you're worth every moment of love you give yourself, every single day.